like, there's people out there shaking the cages, beating the wardrobes. They want to stoke the fire of civil unrest, and you can't buy into it. None of us can buy into it.
Yeah.
We got to stay calm. We can't give them what they want. They want chaos.
The world keeps lying, but he won't retreat on his quest for truth. Yeah. Truth, quest for truth. They can't stop me, they can't block me. Moving through, got that fire, they can't block me. Quest for truth, breaking chains, making waves. That's what I do. When they hate, I create.
Get out. What's up, Nino? How's it going, man?
Dude, awesome. I'm so happy to be with you today. Yeah, I like that I'm on a different channel, so not just mine, so I can spew my I can get all my garbage out to everybody. But no, I mean, we are in serious times, and I think it's about to escalate to a climax,
Absolutely, man. It just really feels that way. I wanted to get your take on a couple things with the Charlie Kirk, because it seems from an outsider's perspective looking in, and when I say outsider, there's a girl that is part of our team. Her husband works for Turning Point, and I've got contacts to a lot of these people, but I've been hesitant because I don't really know. Like, even the people I know don't really know, I think, that actually even are working there, which is strange to me. But you have this weird thing that happened with Charlie Kirk. First, I want your opinion on Charlie Kirk and what happened in that situation. Do you think it's all like fake, conspiracy? What do you think?
I knew people there. They saw it go down. He's dead. Okay, so that let's put that to rest.
Okay.
I know people like to fantasize and say it's a psyop, and he's like, I saw people. I knew people. I heard people screaming in the back when I was on the phone. They said the life left his eyes. He was done. He was done before they even put him in the SUV. Man, he was gone.
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, there's no bigger proof than that. And I have connections there. That people that were there in the crowd that saw the whole thing. So, but the question is now, who did it?
Yeah.
That's where it gets messy. And I think Candace Owens is raising some great questions. I believe that Tyler Robinson is a patsy. He's the Oswald of our generation. There are rumors, and I can only say rumors, but there's people behind the scenes saying that he was in fear of his life already leading up to this event. So you have to take that into consideration. I've seen many videos of his lapel or his mic looking like if you really think about the technology today of the pagers that can explode, right? We saw all that happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a long shot to think that the technology today, boom, could have ejected into his neck and killed him, right? So definitely you see the shirt shoot forward, the vest move, everything. People can go look at that footage. It's kind of convinced me that there's a lot more to the story here. I think someone inside Turning Point was involved. How many people, I don't know. There's decoys that were there at the event that had been at 9/11, maybe even the Oklahoma City bombing. They'd all been same faces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, okay, so number one, I do believe with 100% accuracy, in my opinion, he's gone. But who did it? Now, a lot of people are saying stuff about Erica Kirk. I don't know that. I think, Erica Kirk, I think she was infatuated with him. I think she really loved the guy. I think she cared about him. I kind of look at her track record and kind of see, and I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm sure she's Christian and all that, but I mean, she was going in reality shows. She was beauty pageants. That's self-glorification. I kind of see that kind of girl coming a mile away, but that's just my opinion on it. And I'm not talking bad about her. I don't think she was involved. I think she's just trying to step up right now the best she can, because her husband was taken from her. I mean, if you look at his parents, they're crying, they're mortified. I don't think that's an act. So I think that he's gone, and I think that now I think Turning Point's been intercepted, and I think that little country in the Middle East is running it now, and I think they're going to put their operation, their people in place. Mm-hmm. And operatives in place and run Turning Point the way they wanted to, because he was denying them and raising a lot of questions about them. And I think that's a big no-no. And I think it was also a shot of warning to Trump. Like, look, we can do this to him. We can do this to you. And that's just where my gut takes me, and everything that I've looked into it, that's how I see it.
Yeah, it's wild, man, when you think about that too, because I agree with you. I think he was dead. I don't know anybody who was there, but I watched the ballistics videos over. I mean, I watched like 10 of them, 10 different people who are professionals in ballistics, and it's clear to me that that whatever that was, unless it was some kind of hologram and everybody there was fooled, somebody died there. I mean, almost instantly. I mean, you get shot in the neck and blood squirts out that fast. It doesn't take very long for, I mean, as a fighter, you get choked out. It doesn't take very long for everything to go. As soon as you get choked out, as soon as that strangulation of the blood takes place, when in his thing, it flowed out. What strikes me as odd in this whole thing is the guy taking down that camera in the back and the angle of it all. Like, it just is so weird. And then they cemented everything.
Here's what I think too is that under chaos and under disarray, disorientation, people don't know to take cameras. Okay, they don't know to do that. If those people really were not in on it, they'd be looking around, they'd be screaming, they'd be trying to help, they'd be running or running for their lives. They wouldn't know. Bam, get the cameras. That was calculated. That was organized. So to know like what the minute he shot, grab the cameras, take all the evidence we can out of there. So those guys that are taking the cameras, I have no doubt that they're implicated, and that's only because they knew to do that. And maybe, I could be wrong on this, but my instincts as a fighter tell me, why aren't they being? And then the fact that I got to tell you, man, I've had a lot of disappointment with Cash Patel. I mean, I've had him on my show many times, but I'm not. I don't care. I'll just say it. Like the Epstein list first, and now this. Oh, we don't deal in conspiracies. We deal in facts. I'm just thinking to myself, wow, okay. So you're gonna get the truth. In my opinion, from not the FBI, but you'll get it from. And I don't know what's going on over there, and I don't know if I know that they're focused on bigger fish to fry, like these indictments and these arrests that are coming. So maybe that's what it is, and I'll still give them the benefit of the doubt. I just know as of right now, maybe they're focused on that bigger operation. They're still trying to clean out the FBI and all that, but so I'm not ready to throw them under the bus. Although I just feel deflated by the comments they have made, like anybody else. But I think that, in my opinion, we all know deep down that we're probably going to get more out of like Candace Owens and like independent investigative researchers than we are ever going to get from the FBI, dude. I mean, that's just the truth.
Yeah, because Candace Owens, from what I've heard from my friend, she was friends with them. I think she's friends with like all those people, like Eric Trump. She said that they were best friends, and she's going to get to the bottom of it. And I do believe that she's doing everything, kind of risking her life to do it. But I look at like people like Cash Patel and her in those positions, and I really wonder what kind of pressure is being put on them, because as well as I do, there's a lot of very wealthy people that probably want to keep this shut. But then there's the side of me that is real conspiratorial, that thinks maybe this is exactly what they want. Maybe this is all manufactured, and he was kind of a sacrifice to make people even more divided than they already are over the whole Israel Palestine, or Israel the Gaza thing. I mean, for me, when I look at this, I think Israel could have wiped Gaza off the map in one day, less than boom, gone. There's no issues there. They have way better technology, but yet it's continued on for a long, long period of time.
They want the land. They want the land. It's a land grab, man, and they need the people out of there. That's all this is. Let's just really, just look at it very simplified. They just need the land, and that's what it is. And I think Trump, in my opinion, the operation of Trump, because I do believe it's an operation, is using. There's some things you're just not going to be able to stop, and you got to let the people see it for themselves. So sometimes the best punchers are counter punchers, man, and that's what Trump is. He's a counter puncher, knockout counter puncher. So I think what he's having to do right now is let them play their moves, because there's no way to defy them or go against them in this kind of matter. So let them play their moves, let them do what they got to do, and then intercept the counter, and then counter move. Or intercept the whole operation, which I think is what he's doing. So that's the playbook I see him following, but you got to let everybody expose themselves. Yeah, no, and also if you think about it, I always go on this keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And that's something I had to learn through experience. Now, Trump is an avid, you know, researcher of or study. He studies the art of war. Like he's talked about that many times in speeches. Everyone knows it. He even wrote a book called The Art of the Deal. You got to understand that he lives by this. You know, that's like his Bible is the art of war. And that's something I didn't learn till later in life, being a fighter. Many people in my camp that I thought were my friends coming up were not my friends. They were there for the limelight or to get whatever scraps off the table or whatever they could get opportunistic. They were very opportunistic. I had a few friends that I thought were really close to me that were just the biggest opportunists in the world. And behind my back, they were cutting deals and doing things. That's something I didn't learn till later.
Yeah.
And so Trump knows this. So that's how I think he treats Israel. You keep your friends close, your enemies closer. So you have to be that way. You got to smile and pat them on the back. The biggest traitors in the world are the people that come up and hug you and smile and pat you on the back and tell you how great you are, kid, you're going places, and then they're cutting deals. I lived this in boxing. But to go back to your point about it was ritualistic. Well, the amphitheater looked like the menorah, right? The menorah candles,
Yeah.
the Hanukkah, Shabbat, menorah candles. And if anybody goes and looks at that or just looks at the amphitheater, it was in that shape, and with Charlie Kirk being in the center. So I think there was a lot of ceremonial, ritualistic symbolism in his death, and couldn't be any more planned. At the bottom line, we all got to know that this is satanic. We are fighting this spiritual war. This is what these people believe. You don't even have to believe it. It's what they believe. Take yourself out of it. If you don't want to believe this stuff, that's fine. If you want to believe in other things, that's great. But they believe this. So if they're willing to go to these lengths for sacrifices and ritualistic symbolism, it means something to them. Just look at the whole city of Washington, D.C., the obelisks, the things like that. I mean, this is real, man. This is the stuff they build cities on this. So it doesn't matter if you don't believe it or not. They do. Yeah. So there has to be something there. So I do believe we're in a good and evil war, and I think Charlie Kirk was raising awareness among the youth and really starting to make an impact. Like he started off with a table in these colleges with a little sign taped to it. Now he has armed security and thousands of people showing up just to see him, throwing hats out into the crowd. He was becoming a big hit, and I think it was like, okay, you don't want to take our money, so we can't control you properly. We're taking you out.
Yeah. And that's to me, I think that's obviously what they're wanting us to think, whether it's true or not, too. So there could be that element of it as well. Like, this is what they want you to think, maybe. But at the same time, it could be exactly what's going on. So that's why I'm like really hesitant to speak out against any particular group yet, because I'm still seeing how things are play out. Like you, I've been wrong many times about certain people that I thought were bad. Even like I thought, man, this guy's like, bad. But then I found out literally they were doing something else behind the scenes, and then it was actually really, really good what they were doing. They just couldn't reveal to me what was actually happening.
I don't follow it like others are. Like I just had Ryan Mata on talking about it. I just kind of touch and go. To me, I think anybody with two eyes and two ears know, like, hey, in a brain between these two eyes, know there's something way more to this than what people are saying. I just feel like I already know. It's a knowing. So for me, it's like I don't need to really look into it too much. I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. It's kind of like when I figured out a fighter. I'm like, I got it. I don't need to watch any more tapes. I got him. I know his movements. I know what he's doing. And then I go in there and knock him out in the first round because I got it. I know I see I see his flaws immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can capitalize on that real fast. So, and that's how I did everything. And that's how I see this. I just don't. There's no. God bless Candace Owens. I mean, she wants to keep doing this. To me, it's like beating a dead horse. I'm going to be very interested to see where Erica Kirk goes with all this. And I think that's going to be very revealing because I think whatever moves she plans to make will reveal a lot. Like, is if J.D. Vance picks her for vice president, then I'm going to say, oh, man, we know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Something like that. If she lays low and, runs Turning Point, then the jury's out. I don't know. I'll still have one foot in, one foot out. But if she makes some big moves, I'm going to start really looking at her and questioning her. But that's just natural, right?
Yeah.
But then again, who's running Turning Point now? Who's really running Turning Point now? So there's just so much to this, man. There's so many layers to this onion that I think we all instinctively know. We all know. It's kind of like JFK. We all know. We all know. We know Oswald wasn't the guy. It's just. And can you trust the FBI? And the fact that they come out and say stuff like, "Oh, we don't deal in conspiracies, we deal in facts," it's just moronic, man. It's like, come on, bro. What are you doing? You're feeding the people peanuts, dude.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, bro. Then people are going to lose respect for you. And if that's the price you want to pay for your position, then so be it, man. That's the reputation you'll have the rest of your life, is the guy that just went along with the narrative, man.
Yeah. And the afterlife. I mean, I wouldn't want to go in the afterlife with that on my soul either. If Candace Owens at this point, if she doesn't have an assassination attempt or something on her life, I'm going to be very skeptical as well.
Well, hold on. She's also coming out against Trump, isn't she?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe so. I haven't seen that.
She's saying she said a lot of derogatory stuff against Trump. So, like I've said, and I'm not pointing fingers at her. I don't know. But I do know that in this time of war, because we are in serious war right now, this is for the hearts and minds of America. Yeah. The No Kings protests, everything, dude. This is an informational war. You're going to see right-wing podcasters turn on Trump. I've said this from the very, very beginning. And then you're going to see instigators. You're going to see people that are agitators that are going to shake the cages and rile the people up, like Nick Fuentes, that comes out and talks about, those people in the little country in the Middle East. Yeah. It's like, there's people out there shaking the cages, beating the war drums. They want to stoke the fire of civil unrest, and you can't buy into it. None of us can buy into it. Yeah. We got to stay calm. We can't give them what they want. They want chaos. They want civil unrest. We can't give it to them. And the people that are falling for it the most are the liberals. It's like, it's unbelievable to watch just all these ill-informed people just lining up, blocking streets, and then they get mad when a car runs over them. It's like, not supposed to be in the street. I mean, that's something you learn when you're like 3 years old.
Yeah. I've been warning people that are younger too that are happening, because I was younger, I was stupid, I didn't know I might have been involved in protests when I was younger, because just for fun, just to go break some shit, and I warn people though now. I'm like, listen, like, this is all being recorded, and they're probably databasing every single one of you. They're giving you the rope.
They're allowing this to happen for track and trace.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You don't think they know who these people exactly are with AI? They're logging and tracking everybody, dude. You show up to one of these protests, you are now in a database, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And you're going to be watched. I mean, seriously, dude. They're allowing this to happen because they're tracking and tracing everybody. It's the same thing that happened with the people we let in the border. The immigration, the invasion. It's like, I've had guests on saying they're tracking and tracing all these people so that we know who to get. And sure enough, the midday raids, the ICE raids, who do you think we're really getting? You think we're just getting some poor guy that's trying to work and make money on the corner selling oranges? No, they're going after the cartels. They're going after the dangerous, violent criminals. We'll worry about Pepe and his tamales later. We'll get him later. Right now, they're going after the people that are organizing these protests or funding hits on people or MS-13. That's who they're going after. And they were all tracked and traced.
Dude, I'm in 100% agreement with that. And we definitely, even the conservative side, I think it's important, like you said, to not get caught up in that, because I think that's exactly what they're doing. They're track and trace. You mentioned something earlier about Trump and his military prowess and his art of war. I'm sure you've seen this, that he is getting this thing that I can't remember exactly the French word for it, but it is the Arc of Triumph. And I've done research on that. I actually read 2 books on this in the past, and there was the Egyptian arcs, and then, Napoleon and Caesar had their arcs, but all of these things represent, when put in a land, the conquering ownership of the land. They don't go anywhere unless they're that. And there's really something major to that, which makes me think you're exactly right. Trump has conquered more than we ever will understand or know. I mean, the fact that he was able to go in and wipe out the entire people and put his own people in. Nobody's ever done that before. Bush kept the same people. They all kept the same people, had no choice in the matter. Tell me he's not just one wing of the other bird. He might be the head of the bird, but you have people speaking out against him, like you said, and it doesn't make sense. Why would you be against illegal aliens that are terrorizing people, putting drugs into the street? Maybe, I mean, those cartel people will murder you and eat a sandwich while they're doing it. They don't care.
Yeah.
And people are upset about that. It doesn't make any sense.
Because they have no idea what the third world is like. I do. I live on the border.
Yeah.
I used to walk over to the bridge and see headless bodies hanging. Swear to you. Like,
yeah.
I,
Near
I've
Juarez
seen-
right there, right? You live
Yeah,
near
man.
Juarez,
And
right?
I remember there's times I was in, dude, I used to get in fights over there, get thrown in jail over there. I know these people, bro. I know what, and that's where I have an advantage over all these other people that are doing the reporting on the border. I've lived it. I've been back and forth from that place my entire life.
Same, dude. I actually grew up in South, you know where South Padre Island is? Mission,
man.
Texas. I grew up in
Yeah.
the Rio Grande Valley, and same thing. We'd walk,
Rio Grande Valley, yeah.
hop over to Reynosa and all those areas, and same thing, dude. People kidnapped every single day.
Yeah.
High alerts. My sister was a little blonde haired girl, and there was always some kind of weird stuff. And in my mind, it was normal. And then I moved to Indiana, and it's like there's none of that. But people have no idea unless they've lived on a border town.
But it's everywhere. It's everywhere now.
It is now.
They're in
Yeah.
America. Yeah. But, and then not just them, but like Hamas and
Yeah.
and then you got to think it's all the three-letter agencies that are doing this. But I mean, yeah, they're all here.
Yeah.
But I've seen stuff that people don't see. I mean, I remember one of the first times I was like 14 years old, standing in line to go into a club at 14. Okay. Because you could just go there and do what you want, and you have to just get a fake ID, which we all got. We had friends that made the fake IDs at home, and it would say we're 18, and we'd show up to these clubs, and they knew, but they didn't care. They just wanted our money. And I was standing in line, and I just heard a snap, like a crack, and I didn't know what it was, a loud pop crack, and I just remember this person fell in front of me, and when they fell, they had a hole. It was a lady, actually. She had a hole in her head. And everyone just stepped over her to go into the club. Like, nobody cared, bro. No value in life. And I remember I was like, whoa, I was standing there staring. And one of my friends told me, he said, hey, man, don't stare too long. Just come on, let's just go inside. And that was the first time I've seen someone in my life, like ever, like as a young kid, die in front of me.
Yeah.
And I remember I just went and got drunk and just came outside, and they took her off. I don't know what it was about. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was stuff like that always happening, and then it was just the way it was, man. You just get used to that life,
Yeah.
And then we would run the back streets of Juarez, and I had friends that lived in the colonias, and like friends with my friends here in El Paso that were cousins or something, and they lived in the poor areas, and then I learned how they robbed trains. I started stealing cars in El Paso. I worked a deal with one of the guys out there, and I'd start stealing cars here, and I'd show them back in the day, the fake IDs went a long way. So, I'd be like, I'd go to car lots, man. And I guess I'm just going to talk about it. I mean, this is just the way it was. And I'd show them my fake ID, and it looked fake. And then I remember they'd always be looking at me like, man, I don't know about this kid. And I'd go to the car lots here in El Paso, like the big car lots that, and drive and ask to drive their brand new Mustang or whatever it was, and give them my ID. And I didn't care. The ID was fake. Take the car and drive it to Juarez, and they'd strip it down and give me $2,500 right there. And I'd walk out, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go drink at the bars. That was a lot of money to me. But that was like, that's how like most everybody was raised here on the border. It was a different life. And if you're not doing that, well, guess what? I would meet customs agents at the gym, and they'd say, hey, can you give me some steroids? I'm too scared to do this or that. I go, yeah. What lane are you in on Wednesday? Oh, no, lane number 6. You got it. I'll be there at 2:00. I show up in lane number 6. Yeah, just go right through. Wow. They're all in on it, bro. Everyone's in on the take. And then I'd give them the juice at the gym. Yeah. I wouldn't give it to them there. They would just know if I'm coming in lane 6, I'm coming with some stuff. Let me go. It's just the way it is. So
it's open.
Yeah, man. And people don't understand. It's like, it's just everyone's trying to make extra money. It's just the way it is. It's the same way in the prison yard. You go into the prison yard with good intentions, it's over for you. You better go there knowing what, it's just, It's a mindset, man. Just a mindset, and these people don't think the way these sheltered people in America think, dude. They don't think the way these Americans think. Americans go to football games, McDonald's, they go home, they go to church. You know, they're oh ho ho. Everyone, they're not like that in these third world countries, bro. And they're bringing their value system here. They're
Yeah.
bringing it here with them, and
Yeah.
it's not. And you are all prey, not you. I'm just saying, people,
In
you're
general, yeah.
prey. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're prey. These are predators that are here.
Even the fellow Mexicans that are Mexican Americans, they don't even like them. I mean, that's like in the jails, like you're toast. You know, even just being a Mexican American, they hate Mexican Americans, which is crazy.
Yeah, and here I am, so it's for me, like the rules apply differently. Like if I went to prison, I'd be with the Mexicans, right?
Yeah,
Because I'm not white.
yeah,
So I'm a Trump supporter, so that'd be a big dilemma for me in there.
yeah, yeah. It'd be tough, man. It'd be
That'd
tough.
be tough.
Yeah, be a tough world. But yeah, dude, it's wild, and I think that when people realize how dangerous it is, then maybe they'll come around. But I think a lot of people have been so untouched by all this. Like you said, they go to have fun every night, go get drunk, do all the things. They don't have to worry about any of this stuff. But those of us that have seen it, then we know that this is very dangerous. And I think that if Trump is doing everything the way I think he's doing it, I think that is very wise what he's doing, because those are the deep state goons that they will use in warfare against us. It will be these guys that are already collecting billions and billions of dollars, already destroying our people. There are enemies literally preying on our people, and they have to be dealt with in that way. So I'm very excited about hopefully that happening. But at the same time, I'm always like thinking, okay, after that happens, what's next? Like, because we know that biblically there's like this beast system coming, and you start to see all these things like Palantir rise up and everything. Even though they are part of helping, how are they going to be used in the end? What's your opinion on that?
I think all the people at the top have to work together, man. You know, even Trump,
Hmm.
he has to play ball at a certain level, bro. I'm sorry. I see it like that. I don't, I mean, and I'm just going to refer back to like jail or like the streets here in Juarez and stuff like that. All the people, the main gangs and stuff, they all work together, dude. And then all their little minions don't even know it,
Hmm.
so it's like, I, I'm hoping that Trump is going to outsmart them all, and I rather Trump have control of AI and be the bully on the block than Soros and Obama and all these families. But hopefully we're intercepting that and going to make it ours, and we're going to make it work for good. That's my hope, but it's only a hope. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like everybody else. I'm just trying to find out. I'm not claiming I know everything. I just know
Yeah.
I just have good instincts, and I just try to bring the best guests on my shows. I don't claim to know anything, dude. Like I'm not that guy that's like, I'm a preaching into everybody. I don't know shit. I
Yeah.
just know that, like, I'm trying to be a better Christian. I still have a lot of doubts and like a lot of in my faith, and like I'm just like everybody else. I'm not trying to be any better than anybody else. I just want to know, dude. That's
Yeah.
it. And I think this AI stuff is dangerous. And I just like you think, I'm like, how could it be good?
Hmm.
Look at the hands. Look at the people. That look at humanity. Like a fallen. We are a fallen species. We are fallen. So to me, it's like just in the right hands or in the wrong hands. Like after Trump, who's it going to go into? Like what? How can you trust anybody? And they implement that B system. We're in trouble, bro.
Yeah.
We are in trouble. And there has to be so many types of safeguards on there, and I don't know if he's doing that.
Yeah, and I agree with you, dude. You're right. There is at the highest levels that even if they don't want to work together, I think that there is a higher principality, spiritual power, ruler over it all that really kind of pulls the strings in this. So I think you're 100% right in that. I appreciate it, Nino, you coming on today. Nino's Corner TV on YouTube. Is there any other websites or anything that people can check out your
Just
stuff on?
my YouTube is Nino's Corner, my Rumble's Nino's Corner, Telegram Nino's Corner, my X is Nino Boxer. But if you want the fringe stuff, Nino's Corner.tv. It's like on Roku and Apple and all that. And hopefully you'll send me a file on this, and I can put this up on my my .tv too. So,
Yeah.
and we're going to be doing a show Tuesday that'll
Yeah.
go on YouTube. So everyone stay tuned for that, because Tuesday I'll have Jon Pounders on. We're going to talk about the climax, the quickening, how everything's happening so fast. 3-Eye Atlas. I think that's a card they're getting ready to play. So thanks for having me on. Seriously.
Thank you, Nino. I appreciate it, man. And that's one of the reasons I like having you on too, because you're not definitive on everything. Because if I feel like you have to be a fool to be definitive on everything, like to say this is the way it is, this is the way it is. I don't think
because then you're a cult. Then you're a cult,
Yeah.
and then you're no better than the left.
Yeah.
If we're not questioning everybody, including Trump, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's true,
that's
man.
the way I see it, bro.
That's so true. Well, thanks a lot, Brand. I appreciate you guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and go check out Nino's Corner TV as well. See you guys next time.
The world keeps lying, but he won't retreat on his quest for truth. Yeah. Truth, quest for truth. They can't stop me, they can't block me. Moving through, got that fire, they can't block me. Quest for truth, break